Let's record to the cloud. Hello, hello, everyone. And I'm going to say it right from the beginning. Happy Thanksgiving, right? This is a season to be grateful for everything in our lives and be surrounded by people we love and everyone. So I am so grateful for all of you for every week being on here, contributing and being part of this. So we were talking about the LVAs, and just to clarify, I don't know, did you know, Pam, in Sioux Falls that there was going to be an opportunity meeting? Was it clear for you there?
We knew there wasn't going to be one.
Oh, there wasn't. Who did yours there?
Marcel.
Oh, okay. So you knew it. Okay. Yeah, I think it's important to find out. Lori, did you know there was going to be one in Denver?
Yes, they did tell us in advance.
Okay. I will make sure I clarify that for Arizona. Yeah, we just got to keep working on the attendance and building it up. And, you know, it's like restarting all over again, you know, after everyone being on Zoom all the time, now to get back to being live. Yeah, but I think this January, and that's what I want to talk a little bit about tonight, is I think this January is going to be like, I think 2022. I think people now I think it's going to be a bigger restart than 2021 was, because I think we've gone through 2 years of this now. And I think we've got a handle on it, or people feel at least more comfortable. So I think there's going to be more surges of people really looking, because I'm starting to hear more people looking for other sources of income. What can I do, you know, from home? So I think we have to, even through the holidays, we really have to keep that communication and that going on. Carrie is on. Okay, yeah. So one of the things Carrie and I have been talking about is for 2020 is let's do some things different, right? So I know that a lot of you have your own team calls here and there. And so we've tried to support people having their own calls, but I think sometimes people that don't have enough people, you know, don't really have a team call because you just don't have enough people to be on it. So what Carrie and I were thinking was to pull everyone together, except the pose group, like they keep having their own, but pull everyone together and to have a team call with all of you. So what are your thoughts on that? So what we would do is, after this leadership call, we would roll into a team call. I think that time should work for everyone on a Monday. So like, you want to give me your feedback? What do you guys think? Because I'll say personally, I got a new little team growing, and they somehow found the Palkas call, and they were like, oh, there was so many people on it. It was such a great call. And I'm like, oh goodness, I need to start doing a call, but I don't want to do it with, you know, 3 or 4 people. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's time to bring it all together. But
Maria, I think I mean, for me, that would be great, because I have quite a few little strangling teams on my outside legs that I haven't stepped up to do my own, because just with life circumstances, I just haven't.
right.
And then I've got key leaders in my organization that have their own. So I'm kind of floundering too, going, well, should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? So I would be all in for helping to promote that. If all of us would join arms, and then make sure we're including all our distributors that are out in the field.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because I think I have some distributors who would like the camaraderie of everyone.
Yeah, and that's what we see when people see each other and when they meet each other, and it's a great place for recognition, right? Like Jeremy Duvall just hit the pool, right? And he hasn't done. So I think that would be great for him to get on and speak for a couple of seconds, and a bigger, you know, more people there, right? To be just recognized. Because I think if we pull in from everyone, I think it can be really powerful. But I think the smaller groups, you know, and I think the smaller groups, it's just not as powerful. So I think if we create something together and we get everyone in it. So any other comments from anyone else? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
I think, you know, you guys, Maria we're talking, and just, I know, like, different people on this, have had team calls, right? And like she's saying, I mean, I think we need to rebuild, we need to find new people, we got to refocus. And I think it's, like, I know I've had discussions with different people on this call, right? Where you're doing your own team call, but yet there's not like a huge level of participation. It's hard for like you to have the energy to be all things to all people when you really only have a couple people, right? That are plugging in. And so that's where Maria and I were brainstorming on just trying to figure out, okay, what's a great solution? And so I just think it would be to me, it just seemed like honestly the perfect solution. So that way you have like a great spot to bring for the teams, and we'll have different leaders kind of stepping up and helping in different parts. But that way, it's not like everybody trying to do these team calls for just a few people, or like, we all have different new groups where they need to plug in. And then think of it events too, where, just that, again, that community. So it's like the whole team love leaders, right? Like this Zoom, but it's all of our teams then, or people that aren't Pro 4, right? That need a spot. And that way, and so then you'll build that culture, and a lot of them are on the messenger chat as well. But then that way, think of when we go to events, right? Like they're going to be more connected and have a bigger community and have more support versus like just, like for Brenda, like example, or Carrie Brenner, or Marco and Diane, or everyone. I could say that literally about pretty much everybody on this call, right? Sorry, I'm rambling, but you kind of get the gist.
But it's about the energy, just like you said, Carrie, it's about the energy, and we need the energy. It's hard to get that energy in small groups.
Exactly. So to combine, just pull together. And I mean, I feel like even, Pam, like Maria and I were talking, like that's always been the magic in Sioux Falls, right? It wasn't any one of us. It was the combination, each of us doing our part to get that off the ground, and the synergy and the team. And we all have different strengths we bring to the table. So the same, concept in different, and, it's not just like me or Maria leading it or whatever, but like each of, different people will have different, ideas to bring to the table for on social media or on this or training or whatever. But like that synergy and creating that energy, that culture, and people can plug into a bigger vision, but which is really hard to create if you've only got a few people on your team on the call, right?
Well, it's bigger and you're connecting with more, but yet it's still intimate. It still is small enough and
it's still like our team. So that
yeah.
message is the same consistent message we've had all these years. And we're not trying to take anything away from leaders that have been consistently doing that. We want to make that really, really clear. Like we love and appreciate, and we want everyone, right, stepping up, and we will still have that. But just, to me, it seemed like a great solution. But we're open to feedback. Where Maria and I are kind of like hashing things, figuring it out. Thinking through different parts.
I think too, it just help with promotions for running different incentives and promotions if we were on a larger scale to help each other. And also when new things are rolled out from corporate, knowing we're hopping on our team call and all getting the same information as to what this entails and how it's rolled out, and just to really be there for each other, I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll be, and if anyone has concerns, and if you don't feel comfortable voicing it here, just let me and Maria know, or whatever. Just know that we're open to hearing it, because we want to do what we feel like is best. But it, obviously I can barely think at this moment. So like, if you have, ideas or suggestions or concerns, like let us know too, so we can address it as well. Because we're just trying to do what's best for the whole team.
I want to show you an example of what we could do. And I could have Michelle Voris does this. She does virtual assisting for me, but she does it for the pose and for Marisa too. So there's a lot of duplication. So I was talking to her today, what she creates for the pose, we can use that, right? So we'll have certain things that are standard. I just called it the You Got This team call, because, that's kind of what I've called the team, was You Got This. Or we can just leave it as team call. So if you think it gets confusing with the name, we can just do a team, we're having our team call, and you're just saying we're having our team call. And please give us feedback. We're really, really open, right? So then we would always talk about what presentations, because what leads this business is getting people to these events. And I think so many times, even though it's posted everywhere, I think people miss it. So it's another reminder, hey, this is Tuesday. We're having, Lourdes is doing the presentation, nothing on Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, right? So happy Thanksgiving. Promotions that are going out, just to remind people, we're not having the Black Fridays, but we do have, we had those promotions that ended, but we do have these supplies left for these here. And they're doing the new thing with the women's shelter. So we're going to be in Orlando. And so when you buy the True Science line, they're also donating it to a women's shelter. I love that idea. When I read it, I was like, yes, it's such a beautiful thing. We should have them promote that too, with even NRF2, right? And other things like that will accept it, right? So little things like this is important. So the auto ship, you should tell our customers that they're not going to run on the 25th. It's going to run on the 24th. New customers may, especially people that really watch their auto ships. We always have a few that are really tight. So you just let everyone know. And it's a great way to have a communication with a customer, right? Reach back out, use the app to create that conversation. So this is about the holiday giving, how they're going to donate it to that women's shelter in Orlando, which again, I love this idea. So this is an idea of what we would be sharing with the team, whatever's going on, right? Professional, looks really good. Always remind them, Elite Academy, the next thing that's coming up. Have you got your tickets yet? Have you registered yet? It's a point towards Croatia. And then once again, mention Croatia. With Croatia, well, I'm not gonna have time for that, so we'll just go on. Big Blue Calendar, we gotta get back to using Big Blue Calendar and having people, even if it's Zooms that they're doing, if they're not private for a new distributor, but general ones, we really need to start populating this, because I really think 2020 people are going to start growing again. And so when you go on here and you've got someone in a city and you want to connect them, this is a great way to find someone. So all the ones that we have, we really have to get back to promoting them again here. And I know the company's doing a 1% club. I don't know if you heard about it, but if you get a new distributor and they get a second order of the month and they attend an event, they're kind of doing something and having a special call or something like that. So that's an idea of stuff that we can have on there. And then I think, and please, again, I know you're just hitting you with this, but think about it. What else would you like to see? And reach out to Carrie and I.
Let me tell you what I like about what you just showed, Maria, is that it is bringing unity and consistency. And there's so much segregation amongst the small teams, not on purpose, but it's gotten crazy and that unity is being lost.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
people
and that's
don't
what we
know what
wanna
call
bring
to be on. They're on one after another. And then you want a team call in unity, but you don't need to be on a million calls like, hello, we need to take action. Let's be honest. So we need a good team call, not 10 million people are on all these different calls to get different ideas. That's not what we want.
I also
Yeah.
wanted to say something that I really love about this is just the relationship building cross line. And that's something that you really look forward to, right? Is seeing people when you go to conventions and LVA. And so it's building that community and really making that family even bigger.
And
Feel
feeling
bigger.
more connected. Yes.
Yeah.
I think, and
And
then
I
I
love,
think they
Carrie,
see
what you're
so
saying
many
about
leaders.
time. Sorry.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm saying, say that again, Steph.
What I was saying too is exactly what Carrie's saying is the time factor. Like let's make our energy be in production, but then be able to bring it all together and have more time on our hands too, to not have to join 5 different things.
And the same
Yeah.
thing for each leader to not have to try to create their own thing, right?
Yes.
So it's time for the people on a million Zooms, and it's time for the leader. Like if one person's trying to do that every time versus, a combo. I was really, really fired up as Maria and I were talking about this.
Yeah. And it was
it's hard
really
to tell
funny.
right now, but I was super excited.
Yeah, it was really funny because I was thinking about it and I just didn't have it all in my head. And then Carrie this yesterday, was like so excited and telling me about it. I'm like, oh my goodness, then I know it's the right thing to do because we're totally aligned. Like I was thinking about doing a team call going back, but just not sure. But she gave me some other ideas because the thing is, we want you all to step up, right? We want you all also to be part of it and not just hear our voice, right? Because they have to see that the different backgrounds and that everybody can do this, right? You know, and see other leaders, and see your team sees you as a leader. Like just think of it. All of a sudden, all these people, they're seeing you speak up too. And if everybody takes a piece of it, and we'll figure out the details of that. My battery's running low. What the hell's happening here? Hold on a second.
Think about, like for those of you who've spoken before at like an LVA or whatever, you know how they'll do like a guest presenter, right? Like what we always, and that's why in Phoenix, we kept that going all along, because like when someone is like selected in that role, what we typically see is, right, we all rise up, and you rise up to the occasion, growth happens. And then that person usually touches the heart more than the speaker sometimes. So anyway, I just mean that it's, we don't like, yes, it's, our team, but we don't want it to only be me and Maria. It's not going to be like, that was like distinctly like the plan. So just to know that. So like, so I know Carrie and Stu run the call and then have different people on each time, but it's for us, it's for our leaders to be leading it, and we'll help, navigate that process or whatever. But that's where like then in that way, so you can have the opportunity to have for you yourself or to have your people like shine in different ways as well. And again, we have like some amazing people with very different strengths, and we want like everyone to get to hear from them, to get to know them, and again, build that community as well. And just that like that connection, right? We're in this together. It's a LifeVantage family.
I think we should have, one of the ideas I'd like to see, and it doesn't have to be every week, but feature a new distributor, right? Somebody that comes on board and has a great story. I think we should feature them, right? Like I said, it doesn't have to be every single week, but I think there's so many amazing stories out there, the product story and reaching out to people and just why they need this and why they saw this. When you hear those stories, I think if we promoted them on this call, just like Carrie does on the Monday call, I think people will see the person and why I'm excited, why I'm here, hear a story. They may think of someone that, and also we definitely want to do recognition. So if someone on your team hits the You Got This club, shout them out. And if you want them, they did something unique. How did they invite that person? I mean, that's the one thing that I think people need to share, how they invited someone, because that's the heart of, that's the key of this business. So if they hear different people's story, how I bumped into this person, and whenever you hear like, this is where you as leaders, when you hear those unique stories, then your job is to feature them on here, like get them on here. So we feature them so they can start talking, start sharing their story and being part of it. So I think feature a distributor, recognition, someone hits the pool, and anything that's a little unique, that tell them to focus on that piece of it. And it doesn't have to be unique. Just if you want someone to speak, to get them out there shining, right? Then we'll get them on. The length of the call, we try to keep it to 30 minutes. Oh, 30 minutes would be the base, but it might go 40. I mean, it's going to go where it goes, but not an hour, because then the people are like, oh my God, an hour, right? And don't forget, we're going to be on it a half hour earlier to go over things and then go to that. Any other ideas that come to mind that?
Or text us too, or message us, because we know we're just throwing this at you. I was in yoga and I was like so excited, like this idea came to me. I literally wanted to run out of the class. And so we're obviously just all thinking it through. So.
And we could have, of course, when there's a new product, we can have someone feature that product, what's coming on, like whatever is happening, we'll just always have special features on those little things that occurring during it.
There'll be enough people in the group that it's kind of like that Monday morning call, because the different people that are coming on there, when you talk about triggers, Maria, for every one of us, we're like, oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's, and so when we have our specials and any of our promotions, those are the things that we want to talk about too, how people are utilizing those, because all of those connections are what's going to help everybody else to go out and do the do. So we just have more to share, more to be excited about, more ideas to move forward.
Yeah, I think the more we get people sharing, I think the more they're engaged, right? And then they get that spotlight. And then,
Well, think of that new person that comes on that you said, it's a really cool story how I connected with them and they came on board. Think of what it's going to do to that person to highlight them. Let alone, we're going to get the triggers on, oh, that's a cool, good idea on how they did that. But think of that person, talk about a launch.
Yeah. I love that. I
Well,
think,
I think it hugely helps the new distributor because they see there's part of something much bigger. Because I think over the last, 2 years, everything has become so, inward and then this brings us outward again. So there's standard communication with what's going on, and it builds a community so people can cross-reference one another, and just the connectivity as well as the communication and building the community. So.
And I'm saying this because I know each of us have experienced it too. I had brand new distributors that signed up right before all this went down. In fact, Marie and I had gone to lunch with them on Friday because again, I need third-party validation, right? They know me in one way. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to bring Maria in there. They're worth it basically. But then they're kind of on their own. Well, all hell broke loose. But regardless, it's still so hard to build that vision, and those little onesie twosies are the new people and all that. Versus no, I want them to feel our LifeVantage family and the love and to get to meet all you guys. And the same thing, you all have different new people that I always say, I can't, in a normal situation, I can't be all things to all people, right? Some people will love my energy. Some people will run screaming from it, but the community, right? Someone will give them what they need, or they'll connect to, or there's that story they'll hear will inspire them or touch someone in their team. To me, it's just a really powerful synergy.
We've just done so much more micro grouping. And I just think being part of something bigger, but not being overwhelmed. When we go to conventions, we've just got something closer and tighter. It's just
exactly
so much nicer.
Yeah. So no one's radically opposed to it, right? Not to put you on the spot. Okay. I didn't figure, but I'm like, Maria, I hope she's in. I think she'll be in. And then we were both like, yeah.
Sonia wanted to know when we will be starting. Well, we were thinking started in January, right? Because to start something and stop it, the 2 weeks in at the end of December, we'll take those 2 weeks off, take a break. But I think we should start at January 3rd, right away in January. Let's hit the ground running, right? I would love to have some sort of promotion, a distributor promotion in January. So think of ideas of what we could do. I know it's a lot easier to get customers, but if we don't focus on getting people thinking of looking for distributors, it doesn't matter if it's, the Premier Pack or the Elite Pack, right? It's just, so I'd like to run some kind of promotion with, for distributors. So if you have ideas, shoot them over. It's just in my brain. I just don't know exactly what to do, but to do, even if they just get
what you're focused on, that's what develops, right?
Right.
And of course, we love our customers and we will naturally get customers. But I mean, you guys are all leaders on this call, right? You want more out of LifeVantage. I hope that's safe to say. And and I can tell you this because from Monavie, the company I was in before, I personally enrolled over 100 people, but they really were customers essentially. And that was why I knew coming to this, I had to look for distributors because I wanted leverage. I wanted exponential growth. That's how you're going to reach more people. Even if you're only talking for the products, you're going to get, most of you here I would never have known, right? And most of the people in your organizations I could never have reached, but because we shared the business, right? That's how we're able to reach more. But so, and obviously you guys know how strongly we believe in these products. And so it's always a balance of both. But I think the comfort zone for most people is to go after customers, right? That's the easy route to talk, like Deb Erickson and said, your products are so good, right? And then we're going after the sick and broken versus who do you want to build a freaking business with? If you were to hire someone, if you were to invest your time into someone, who on earth is that person? Like, what? And let the other stuff, come in as well.
So exactly what you said. I'm glad we got this recorded because that would be a great thing to say to the team, right? Look, why are, yes, we love our customers, but like, why do we want distributors, and give them some tips, right? Like we can give them tips like, do you have customers that you haven't mentioned the business and how to mention it to them, right? If someone's interested in the product, well, great, start them. Once they fall in love with your product, you can start talking about sharing. Hey, do you have family members that you would like to share? Do you know that there's a business side? So we could all give tips on how to open up that conversation, right? To make them feel comfortable. So we could start the promotion in January, the goal is for everybody to get one new distributor and then do some things. They get a prize, go into a raffle. We can make it big and just have a raffle where one person's going to get a lot, or it can be a little bit in there. I don't know. We got to think of what would be more impactful for people, right? But we just think of the power of one. It's like, okay, we've got 30 days almost in January to open up these conversations with people. The beginning of the new year, everyone has New Year's resolution. Everyone's looking at last year, the same spiel we do every time at the beginning of the year, right? So, but we can do that with the team and get everyone focused on the same thing. Yes, go talk about the product, open it up with the product, but let's all set a goal. Let's all commit, maybe get them to do a commitment, put their hands up, and I commit, I'm going to get one distributor. Have everybody say it, like really get them the mindset and engaged in it, right? And if we do that, and then we see what happens in February, right? So I'm glad we've got
Think on all this, right? Like details to come, but like you guys were like planting seeds in your head to come up with ideas for us too, right?
One thing I was going to mention, just because the end of the year is approaching and I don't want to wait to share it, but one thing that I realize is that people forget to promote one cool thing that we have with this company. And that is the fact that they give us a one-time opportunity to get the products we want to use at a significant discount. And everybody wants the discount. And so instead of always saying, hey, buy the business, hey, listen, one of the things that I love about this company is they give us a one-time opportunity to purchase the products that we want to use at a big significant discount. And by default, we're set up to share. That's not scary. You're giving them, you're helping them to get their product at discount.
Yeah, we all have our unique ways that we share. So if they hear from 3 or 4 of us how we share, I think that'll be excellent. Love that idea. Any other comments on that thing that we want to, on distributor promotion for January? The other thing I want us just to think about, just because it's a new year and it's a time to start things or stop stuff, should we continue? And I haven't even mentioned this to Carrie. So should we continue with the You Got This Club? Is it getting old? It's been 1.5 years now that we've been doing it. Or do you think people still work towards it? And is it worth keep doing? I have no problem continuing it. Sometimes I just struggle getting speakers. Of course, you've noticed the last 2 months, I haven't gotten anyone. I was looking for a speaker for the October one in November, and then that just kind of didn't happen. And so I would appreciate any help if you do know of a good speaker or someone that could come on and speak. But just think of it. If you think it's time to end it, or not, send us comments so we can just assess and see where you're all at with that.
And one thing on
Um,
that real quick, I don't know, keep it going or don't, but one thing I will say, just being honest, I'm gonna kick ass a little bit right now. I'm gonna be honest, like when we first rolled this out, we said on and on, like we have to promote this. We need the leaders promoting, we need leaders getting addresses, we need leaders reporting. And some of you have been incredible and some we don't ever hear from. And again, just being honest, like in terms of like if we're gonna be like we're leaders, right? Like Eric Albertson used to say, you gotta have those big boy conversations or adult conversations. And so just in thinking about if we're really going to continue this, is it actually worth the work? Because it's work on our part. It's really is work on our part, and you might not see that all the time. And so then again, then we need everyone to step up and do that part as well to make it good, right? It's again, it's all in the promotion, what you make out of it or don't. So again, I'm just being honest, like I have no filter at this moment. So God knows what's coming out of my mouth these last few weeks. But I feel that way. And like even with all this going on, because normally I get the names to Maria and Maria publishes them, right? And part of me was like, okay, do I give her my ID? Like this is like my own internal head thinking. Or do I stop and wait and let's see what leaders submit their names for their people, right? And again, it's a select few that do, and then there's a whole lot that don't. So don't take anything personally. I'm not pointing fingers. I do not mean it that way. Please know where my heart is coming from. Just an honest conversation. And to think about if we're going to continue this club. And Maria and I didn't even talk about this. So this is all like, I don't know if she wants me saying this or not, but
No, absolutely. We're leaders, right? I mean, these are our leaders. We need to be honest with them that,
Yeah. So just things to think about before, like, because I think normal people will be like, absolutely, well, I want to keep it going. And then I'm going to just question you and say, well, really? Are you actually promoting it? Are you telling us when your people are getting it? Are you pushing them every month? Like, are you giving us their addresses on their own? Like, probably a lot aren't, right?
Good.
Sorry, not to be a buzzkill. And it's because we love you and we know you want this so bad that I will say, like, one thing with Carrie Dickey, like I've always been like, okay, be brutally honest. Tell me what I need to hear, not necessarily what I want. And I always have appreciated, I mean, like you guys have probably heard her say, she's like find your lower voice, like, right? Like, or you're like gray, fat, and whatever, like way back when, right? So I just mean like, but I always welcomed it because I knew she cared and because I wanted to be better so much, just if that makes sense. So just know in my heart, why don't think I'm like being a witch. Just know in my heart that if we really want this and you guys really want it, then you got to step up too. And some already are. So don't take that wrong either.
Well, what I'm thinking is if we're having, combining everybody, it's going to be weekly on a basis. If they do make it, we're going to be promoting it naturally more anyways, So, and if they make it, they can submit that address right away. I don't know. That's not my thought at this point.
And again, we know we're kind of throwing things on you. Like I said, this is all like kind of coming out hot, fast and furious. Like,
And I think there might have been some confusion there too, because
totally valid, fair.
yeah, because I also felt like I was duplicating what you were already doing. And it's like, so if it was a new person, then I would send, but if it's
very, very fair, Lori, and you're right, because like at first we're like, okay, you guys send it. And then we weren't getting it consistently from everyone was the problem. So then we didn't want to miss people. So then I'm doing that. But then, and Maria's doing like all the work on the card end. Like, I mean, it's coming up with all that and then mailing it all out, right? Like that's a lot and money too. But so, yeah. And so that you're right, Lori, like, so totally, I own that. Like we didn't communicate that well. And again, it was hit or miss. So, and there's no perfect solution. So I'm not trying to paint point fingers, just get like the general gist of what I mean.
Well,
you know?
if we're going to grow by growing the team, then there's going to be more. So we do need to get that system down better.
System
Yeah.
dialed down. Yeah, yeah. 100% true. Thank you. And
Anything
I hope
else,
everyone
anybody?
knows this is a safe zone. I don't want you to feel like, oh my gosh, what the hell? Carrie speaks up and this is what she has to say. Like, please, dear God, don't think that. I love you guys.
I think it's all good.
I have a question. So just to clarify, if they've gotten it already, Maria, and you have their address, do we need to resubmit their address, or do you have a system that it saves it, right? You just need.
Yeah,
their
no, I
name?
save it in send out cards. So I only need when it's a new person, the first time they hit it, I need that address so I can,
Yeah.
and I save it in send out card. So if they hit it later on, 6 months later, it's there. That's not a problem.
Okay, perfect. You just need to know when they get it. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
And again, we
Alright.
all have different strengths that we're amazing at. Like we each have huge strengths too, right? So like I'm good at certain things and I suck at a whole lot too. And we're all that way. So just know like we are, and that's why we want the synergy, because we want to pull what other people are naturally great at too. So I always say like that's one of the beautiful things on network marketing, right? Like I honestly, you guys know me, I don't want to go be good at Facebook. That's the last thing I want, but I want someone else that's freaking amazing at it to teach my team. So and all that. So like again, to me, I'm like, I don't want to spend tons of efforts working on my weakness. I want to like blow up my strengths. I mean, people have different opinions on that, but anyway, you get the gist. So this way we can collectively the team is stronger.
Anything else, anybody? All right, thank you so much. Have a blessed Thanksgiving, all of you traveling with your families, hugs and kisses for all of you. Love you so much. So grateful for each and every one of you, and just looking forward to a 2020 with a lot of excitement. So any ideas that come to you about 2020, start meditating on it. Like, what is it that you want to see different, more of? Let's do it.
Are we
Let's-
going back to 2020 or are we going to 2022? Just checking.
2022, you know what I mean, 2022.
I'm going to call it.
2 years.
No, I don't want to
right?
go back. 2022.
Well, I might want to go back now.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you all so much.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.